Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hauser Sport Horse Barn, where it is a very, very busy day. We've got concrete crews here, we've got dirt work crews here. They are putting in the road, they're pouring concrete. We've got a lot going on. First concrete truck just showed up. It's getting started. All right, I got the barn aisle done. So far, so good. First truck is gone and the second truck is just showing up.
She thinks I'm a little lazy, I think she's a little crazy. We like summer and we like spring, watching wrestling in the ring. She ain't shy, she speaks her mind, tough as nails and smooth as wine. We burn hot as kerosene, baby, we got our own thing. She ain't skinny and I ain't tall, and that don't bother us at all. I run naked through the yard, she flash every police car, drinking wine and getting tired, shooting out the damn street lights. How does she put up with me? Oh, baby, we got our own thing. We got our own thing.
They've got virtually the entire barn aisleway done, the tack room done. Next will be the porch and then all of the perimeter concrete work coming next. Probably another truckload or two, I would say, if I was a betting man, which I am. All right, I had to run into town, run a few errands, get a little bit of work done, but I came back to the house to see how much they've gotten done. But look, we actually have a road. This is gonna be the road that we pull trailers down to get down to the barn. It is a beautiful crushed granite drive. That's kind of the easiest thing around here to do. That looks fun to drive, but man, this road looks great. It's not quite big enough for like a massive trailer, so I don't really foresee us having a massive trailer, but for the trailers that we are gonna own in the foreseeable future, this road will be perfect. And just like that, we've got concrete. The entire pad for the barn itself is done. Now we just need to let it cure for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 days, and then we can start getting the metal up, which is one of the cooler parts, but this is a huge first step. On the left-hand side of our barn, we have these 3 stalls, essentially. One of them we're gonna use as a feed room. We could turn it into an actual stall at some point, but for now, it'll be our feed room. These 2 are actually gonna be stalls. These 2 stalls on this side will be actual stalls, and then this other section across from the feed room is going to be our tack room. It is actually concrete, so we'll never use that as an actual stall, but that's kind of the layout for right now. The barn aisle is 16 feet wide. I know some people do 12, but I think 12 is just too narrow. I think you really ought to have a 16-foot wide middle section, and then, like I've said in previous videos, this area and this area could be stalls later on. I think for now, what we're planning on doing is putting a rainwater collection tank probably on this side, and then even on this side potentially, just to collect some rainwater. You know, we can use it to water horse troughs, water vegetation, you know, all sorts of stuff. So that's kind of the plan as of right now. All right, honey, the real question, where is everybody going?
I think Leah and Smoke need to go next to each
Okay. So probably Leah.
Put Leah next to the feed room.
Well, we might have a hole in our feed room if we do that.
So maybe Leah and Smoke, or Smoke and Leah, and then Ryder and Blue.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the starting order. That may change, obviously. But that sounds like a good one, because Smoke and Leah like to be next to each other. I'm not sure if you're actually able to tell, but this section where the walkway is, where the porch is, that all has a broom finish, so it's like a little bit of a rougher finish to it. Whereas over here in the tack room, it's pretty slick. They kind of slicked it off and left it, whereas they took a broom to this one to give it a little bit more rigidity and roughness to it. It looks much bigger now that it's actually in concrete, huh? When it was just form boards, it looked not really small, but it's hard to kind of get a feel from form boards. But now that it's actually concrete, we can actually see how wide the barn aisle is. It looks really big, which is pretty cool. And so some of y'all may be wondering why we didn't concrete the stalls. It's just kind of a lot of concrete to do the stalls. So what we'll do is all of this will get tamped down and compacted, and then on top of that we'll put some really nice rubber stall mats, and that way, you know, everything can drain. It'll be just fine. But just to do concrete everywhere is kind of a pain unless you want to do drains and kind of get into all that nonsense. So we just went with some nice base that will tamp down, make everything level, and then put stall mats on top. Once we actually have the barn up, next task would be to run, there's our water lines. We're going to run a water line over to the middle part of this arena so that we can have we're going to do a sprinkler cart that will actually spray down the arena instead of having to put up and like actually, you know, install sprinklers all the way around. We decided to just make this kind of spot right here the area where we'll put a faucet, and then what we're going to do is put a cart, like a sprinkler cart, that goes all the way to one end. We'll spray down this section, we'll reel it in a little bit, let it spray this section, and then it'll be completely done. It's kind of the most economical way and the best way to do it without spending like a ton of money. All good? Sweet. Give me some.
We should like pop champagne shower.
Let's do that when like the whole thing is up.
Okay, that's fair.
We should do that when we move horses in.
That's fair.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of New Horse Barn. Yeah, stay tuned.